Welcome to Oakland, California. This is my city. This is my adopted city. I was born and raised in San Francisco. My family's from Mississippi. So we got some Southern folks here and some want to give love too. So, did you know that only 2 out of every 10 Black and brown kids here in Oakland are reading and doing math on grade level? Let me repeat that. District or charter, only 2 out of 10 Black and brown kids are reading and doing math well. These numbers, oh, I'm supposed to have this too, by the way, you guys. A lot of technology here, okay? Oh, she's moved it for me in the back, great. These numbers are on the slide behind me, but I want them to really sink in. So I want you to look to your left and I want you to look to your right and count 10 people next to you in this audience. Take a second and do that. Count 10 people in the audience. Really picture what it means to be in a city where only 2 of the 10 people next to you can read or do math on grade level, where only 2 people are set up for a life of their own choosing. That means the other 8 people are on a path to a life that will be chosen for them, which is oftentimes poverty or prison. And this is not an exaggeration. According to the National Assessment of Adult Literacy, 2/3 of students who cannot read proficiently by the 4th grade will end up in jail or on welfare. No one is getting this right. I'm going to say again, no one is getting this right. My name is Lakisha Young, and I am the founder and CEO of the Oakland Reach. I'm here today because this is a crisis, and we have a collective responsibility to do something about it. It should not be this hard for parents to get their kids in a good school. And here's the truth that is often too ignored. See, our families don't really care what kind of school their child attends, the name on the building, the organizational structure. What they care about is whether it is a good school. Like many parents at the Reach, including those on the screen behind me, I put my kids in both types of schools, wherever they had the best shot of learning to read and do math well. And frankly, I've seen failures at both. So now what? That's where I want to spend my time with you today. See, when we launched the Reach 7 years ago, our first answer to that question was to start demanding. I know Kariga called me a parent activist. You'll find out by the end of this conversation. I am a parent builder. I am a solutions builder. I'm a mama builder. We build because we started 7 years ago demanding high quality schools for our children. We thought if we were in the rooms of power with a seat at the table, demanding the right things, change would come. And we even experienced some one-of-a-kind policy wins, like the opportunity ticket, which was passed unanimously by our school board to provide priority enrollment for students who are in schools that are closing or merging. And then in February 2020, just days after our second policy win, another unanimous school board vote, this time to move the entire district to the science of reading. I wondered something. Will our kids actually, well, okay, we got this policy win, that's great. But were our kids gonna actually start being able to read? How would we measure it? What would change in their lives right now because of this win? I wasn't satisfied. I didn't feel good about it, and I knew we didn't have time to wait. I really had no idea that within 30 days, everyone's lives would change, including ours. So we stopped demanding. You would think, this pandemic hit, this crisis hits in March of 2020. Schools, buildings are closed, district and charters. We had ed reformers who were immediately lamenting that the achievement gap for Black and brown students would just get worse. We were not having it. The mamas, the grandmamas, the aunties, the uncles, we were not having it. We were determined that the gap would not widen on our children. That wasn't an option. So within 3 months of schools shutting down, we had designed, built, and launched our virtual family hub. As you can see in the slide behind me, these were the 5 main components of our virtual hub. If you Google our virtual hub, you will see we were on CNN, we were on BBC. This was the first time that folks had really seen, it was kind of when the pandemic pods were happening with more privileged families. We were here in Oakland building a virtual hub that was meeting the needs of our communities. See, the hub was the first time that many of our families have ever, I want to say this again, this was the first time that many of our families have ever experienced increased outcomes for their children, right? I'm just going to show you the results here. Uh-oh, pressed the wrong one. Here we go. Through our hub, our students saw unprecedented literacy gains on the district-wide assessment. 60% of our K-2 students went up 2 or more reading levels on the district-wide assessment, and 30% went up 3 or more reading levels. Can we give a round of applause for those kids? And the reason why I say this is because our children did this right in the middle of a health crisis. So remember, it's never the kids. It's never the kids, okay? So now, Reach was actually building the quality we have been advocating for years. This shifted our mindsets, you guys. See, we always believed that our communities deserve what we call the porterhouse steak, the best of the best. But now we were building that porterhouse steak and showing the systems, right, how we want our communities to be supported. We weren't demanding better, we were now building better. I think this is when I changed the slide. Hey guys, here we go. So the hub really changed the identity of our organization. How many of you guys in this audience went through a major kind of shift or identity change as an organization as a result of the pandemic? I need to see more hands. If we didn't change as a result of that health crisis, we got a problem in here, okay? We made a full pivot, but this is what you do when you somebody's mama, right? We made a full pivot away from advocacy, actually being a driver for giving our children access to a high quality education, into actually building solutions and then leveraging advocacy to ensure those solutions were implemented, sustained, and scaled. And guess what, you guys? We've been building ever since. From that moment on, since we built the virtual hub, we not only keep building better, but we start building even bolder, right? So we're not just building, but we're building bolder. The results we got in the hub actually were directly with tutoring paraprofessionals across district and charter schools. These amazing leaders look like our students and live in their neighborhoods. We wanted to know if we can tap into the power of our parents and caregivers in even more powerful ways to scale our success of the hub to reach more students. That led us to the Liberator model that you see behind me. In partnership with the Oakland Unified School District, our Liberator model upskills parents and caregivers to become paid district literacy and math tutors. They first participate in a multi-week paid fellowship we designed, centered around research-based literacy training, leadership development, and culture building. Just this year alone, we have already trained 50 Liberators. Because of this partnership, our model is now impacting 16,000 students across 65 K-12 schools. Thank you, I appreciate that. It's been hard work. But this is what it looks like to build a solution that not only gets kids reading, but a solution that is bold enough to rise to the level of the challenge we face. This is what a real solution looks like. One of our Liberators described this shift best saying, the same schools that were piss poor and failing when I was in the 2nd and 3rd grade are the same ones that are piss poor and failing now. They're the same ones nobody wants to send their kids to, but they're sending their kids to them based out of desperation, or that's the neighborhood school. But this Liberator model is going to change the game. It is about taking the community itself and putting them in the driver's seat to make certain that there is academic success. We built the solution, and it's getting kids reading, and we can measure it. See, there's a new sheriff in town. we keep the main thing, and that's our children. Our team of parents are proud of the solutions we built these past few years. It's given us real power and agency. It has truly liberated us from the status quo. We're sending a loud and clear message, after there's a new sheriff in town, that kids need us to build better solutions and then build those solutions even bolder. So what can you take away from our work and our journey? My hope is that you take away 3 things. You know what, you guys? I don't even know if I'm on the right slide, by the way. I'm just letting you know. So I hope you're following me. Okay, the slide, the conversation, that's not really my thing, okay? But I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, okay? But I do hope you take away 3 things. That could be, I'm gonna play with something real quick. Oh, okay. Well, that back slide was probably the one I need to stay on. One is, I hope you can see that our work is only possible because we always keep our children at the center of that work. No matter what is going on out there, global pandemics, teacher strikes, political campaigns, book bans, all of that, we stay focused. Our kids are failing worse than ever. Meanwhile, we are all being integrated fast into a new digital economy. This economy requires our children to be strong readers, writers, and mathematicians. Second, I hope you can see that our work is only possible through collective action. To get this done, we had to work with parents and funders, in this particular case, the school district, to build our solution. Your work is no different. Parents are such powerful assets. Have you really unlocked the power of your parents? Why has no charter organization approached me about getting the Liberator model in their system? That leads me to my 3rd message. We all need to make sure we are building real solutions to educate our children, not just opening more buildings. The number of new buildings isn't increasing literacy and math outcomes. We need everyone in this room to commit to being solutions builders first. Be flexible and innovative to do what it takes to get kids educated. We would have never expected that the first time our parents experience academic gains for their kids would be when school buildings were shut down. Did you know what I said? Like, the first time that our communities experience gains is when the buildings were closed. Take that with you for the next couple of days. In closing, my final message is, our children deserve the world. They will run this world one way or another. They deserve every opportunity to build a life of their own design versus one that is chosen for them. Please, please, commit to building better and then commit to building bolder. Thank you.